Ready to dive into the world of AI and design. I've been totally consumed by articles and research about how this tech is revolutionizing how we create, especially for design. We've got news articles, a skeptical op-ed, even a research paper all about AI's impact.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz.
Exactly. So our mission today is to figure out if AI is a dream tool for designers or a total nightmare.
Well, one thing that jumps out is how AI is already woven into the design world. It's not just about those AI art generators everyone's talking about.
Right? It's more subtle than that.
Like, think about those suggested edits in design software, or those spot-on font recommendations you see online,
It's like AI's been working behind the scenes all along.
quietly changing the game.
One article I read really dug into how AI is becoming a master of those tedious, repetitive tasks that designers often face,
Oh, totally.
like color palettes, typography, even generating entire layouts in seconds.
It's wild. Saves so much time.
The article even mentioned an AI tool called Chroma.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
It learns your style and then generates custom color palettes. Imagine the time saved.
It's amazing how AI can just crunch all that data, design trends, user preferences, and make things so much more efficient.
That frees up designers to focus on, the stuff AI can't do.
Really human stuff, right? Like brainstorming, telling stories, connecting emotionally with an audience.
Exactly. Algorithms can't replicate that, at least not yet.
Not even close.
There was this one graphic designer who was quoted saying AI helped him create tons of logo variations
No way.
and adapt them for different platforms super fast.
Like having an assistant who never sleeps.
Exactly. And this efficiency, it leads to another advantage, personalization.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, imagine AI looking at tons of data about a client,
Their preferences, demographics.
everything, and then using all that to create a truly custom design, no more generic templates.
Hyper-personalization at scale.
That's a game changer.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of the research paper we have that talks about AI making professional level design accessible to everyone.
Democratizing design, right?
Yes, it specifically mentions AI-powered tools like Canva.
Canva's great for that.
Anyone can create something that looks professional, even without years of training.
It's exciting. Who knows what kind of creativity we'll see?
But then there's that op-ed by that veteran designer.
Oh, yeah, the one who was worried about AI.
Sounding the alarm about AI stealing jobs, churning out generic design.
I get it. Change can be scary.
It's definitely unsettling. So how do we address those fears? Let's start with the big one.
Job security, right?
Is AI coming for our jobs?
Well, AI is definitely shaking things up. But it's still a tool. It's not going to replace human creativity. Think about it. Before cameras, portrait painters were a big deal.
That's true.
And when cameras became popular, portrait painting didn't just disappear.
It changed.
It evolved. Artists found new ways to express themselves.
So instead of being afraid of AI, designers should be thinking about how to adapt.
Adapt and evolve. Exactly.
That's where that idea of augmented design comes in.
I've been hearing a lot about that.
AI takes care of the technical stuff. Designers focus on the big picture, the strategy, the emotion.
The things that make design resonate, right?
Yeah, exactly. But what about that fear that AI will just make every design look the same?
The homogenization worry.
If everyone uses the same tools, won't we all end up with a generic aesthetic?
That's a good point. But even the most advanced AI tools, they still need a human
To give it direction.
to set parameters, define goals. The designer still makes the final call.
So it's like a chef in a kitchen full of gadgets. The chef still chooses the ingredients and the recipe, even with all those fancy tools.
Perfect analogy.
The human element's still essential. It's not about letting the machine take over.
It's about using AI as a creative partner, right?
Pushing those boundaries, exploring new possibilities.
Exactly. And don't forget, AI can help us create entirely new types of design.
Like what?
AI-generated art, interactive experiences, designs that incorporate data in totally new ways.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so maybe it's not about AI being good or bad, but how designers use it.
You got it. And that's what we'll keep exploring. How can designers leverage AI to enhance their work?
Stay ahead of the curve.
Create designs that are both innovative and impactful.
That's a great question. It's like this deep dive is less about fearing the robots and more about learning to dance with them.
I like that.
Stay tuned, because next time we're going to get into the specific ways designers are already using AI.
It's going to be fascinating.
From automating tasks to, well, maybe even sparking creative breakthroughs. You won't want to miss it.
So let's get into how designers are actually using AI right now. I'm really interested in how it's being used to create those super personalized experiences.
Yeah, we touched on that briefly. What are some real-world examples? How is AI taking personalization to the next level?
One of the articles mentioned this company, Stitch Fix.
I've heard of them.
They use AI to put together personalized clothing selections for their
Oh,
customers.
what?
It's not just about basic style, though. Their algorithm goes deeper.
Like what?
It analyzes body type, lifestyle, even social media activity to come up with unique fashion recommendations.
It's like having a personal stylist who knows you better than you know yourself.
Exactly.
Hmm.
That's AI creating a truly personalized experience.
And it's relevant to you. You actually want those recommendations.
It's not just fashion either. This article talked about AI being used in interior design.
Really? To create personalized spaces.
Yeah. And imagine an AI tool that looks at your lifestyle, your Pinterest boards.
It could even look at your daily routines, right?
Exactly. And then it suggests furniture arrangements, color palettes, decor that fits your personality and how you live.
So it's taking all those design ideas we have and making them a reality.
Pulling it all together.
That's amazing. And this personalization can work in the digital world too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think about those websites that just seem to know what you want.
Yeah, like they're reading your mind.
They're serving up content that perfectly matches your interests.
That's AI working behind the scenes.
Looking at your browsing history, your preferences.
Creating an experience that feels really intuitive.
It's not just about how it looks, it's about making the whole experience feel tailor-made for the user.
That's powerful.
And that's where AI can really excel. It can process huge amounts of data about user behavior, helping designers create interfaces that are both beautiful and functional.
This is a big shift in how we approach design.
It really is.
It's about using data to create experiences that are more personalized, more intuitive.
More human-centered, ultimately.
But this means designers need to think differently, right?
Definitely. It's not enough to just be skilled in those traditional design principles anymore.
You have to be comfortable with data, understanding algorithms.
And collaborating with AI, thinking of it as a creative partner.
This actually addresses one of the concerns that veteran designer brought up, remember?
The one who was worried about losing that personal touch.
Yeah, they were concerned about a loss of identity in design. But it seems like AI could actually do the opposite.
It can free up designers to focus on the human aspects.
Like creativity, strategy, empathy.
Exactly. It's not AI dictating the design. It's about using AI to augment what humans can do.
So let's talk about some of the actual AI techniques that make all of this possible. One of the articles talked about style transfer.
Oh, that's a fun one.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Basically, it lets you take the artistic style of one image and apply it to another. Imagine taking Van Gogh's brushstrokes and putting them onto a photo of your dog.
Wait, I could have my dog painted like Starry Night.
You got it.
That's so cool. But how does that apply to design beyond, fun pet portraits?
Think about branding and marketing. Imagine taking the style of a famous artist or a particular era
Like Art Deco.
and applying it to a company logo or a product design. Instantly grabs attention, right?
It's like having access to all those different artistic styles and being able to mix and match.
Remixing them in cool new ways,
And then there's generative design
which we talked about a bit earlier.
that can create entirely new designs.
Based on a set of rules and limitations. It's pretty incredible.
It's interesting. We started by talking about AI handling those repetitive tasks, but it can also be used to push creative boundaries.
It's capable of both. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's up to the designer to figure out how to use it.
So how can designers stay on top of things? AI is changing so quickly.
It's definitely evolving fast.
What do designers need to know to succeed?
It's not just about mastering specific AI tool.
It's bigger than that.
It's about being willing to learn new things and experiment.
A mindset of always learning.
Exactly. Designers need to be comfortable exploring new technologies, trying out different AI applications.
So you don't have to become an AI expert.
No, but you do have to be an expert at adapting and integrating new technologies.
It's about being flexible, always pushing those creative boundaries.
You got it. And it takes a willingness to try things that might feel a little uncomfortable at first.
Stepping outside your comfort zone.
Seeing AI as a partner, not a competitor.
I think that's key. It's easy to get caught up in all the hype or the fear.
But ultimately, designers need to take control.
Make this technology work for them.
That's the goal. Stay informed about what's new in AI. Go to workshops, conferences.
Connect with other designers who are using AI.
Share knowledge and learn from each other.
Build a community.
That's where the design community can really make a difference. By having those open conversations,
Sharing best practices.
working together to make sure AI benefits both designers and society as a whole.
I'm definitely feeling more optimistic about AI in design, being curious, experimenting, thinking about ethical considerations.
Those are all crucial.
But we can't forget the challenges. Next time, we'll dig into those challenges and explore how designers can avoid the pitfalls of AI.
And how to maximize its creative potential.
We've covered a lot of ground about how designers are using AI, but we need to talk about the potential downsides too.
Absolutely. Every powerful tool has its pitfalls.
One concern that came up in the research was the impact of AI on the emotional side of design.
Yeah, the designer's connection to their work.
If AI is doing all the technical stuff,
Hmm.
will designers still feel that sense of pride and ownership?
It's a good question. There's definitely satisfaction in making something by hand, seeing your vision come to life. But with AI taking over some of those tasks, that connection might evolve.
So instead of owning the technical execution,
Yeah,
it becomes more about the creative vision.
exactly. The storytelling, the emotional impact.
It's like a film director.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
They don't operate the camera or edit the film, but they're deeply connected to the story.
AI could help designers become more like directors, guiding the overall vision and shaping the narrative.
That's a really interesting way to think about it. It's
Yeah.
not about losing the emotional connection. It's about shifting it.
Channeling it into different parts of the process.
Which brings us to another potential challenge.
AI bias, right.
Yeah, one article talked about how facial recognition software was trained mostly on white faces.
And it wasn't good at identifying people of color.
That's a huge problem. How do we make sure those biases don't creep into the design world?
It starts with being aware of what data is being used to train the AI. We need data that's diverse and representative, data that reflects everyone,
We need to hold those AI developers accountable.
and demand better.
Push for a more inclusive approach to data collection and algorithm development
Exactly. And designers have a big role to play here.
by being critical users of these AI tools.
Be mindful of the data. Think about the assumptions being made. If you see bias, call it out.
Demand better from the technology.
Don't be afraid to push back. And remember, AI is always evolving
As designers get more familiar with it, they can help steer it in the right direction.
towards a more ethical and inclusive future.
So what's next for designers? What advice would you give to those starting out in this new world of AI-powered design?
I'd say don't be afraid of the unknown. Design has always been about adapting to new things. AI is just the next step in that evolution.
Be curious. Be adaptable.
Keep learning, never stop. And at the end of the day, design is about solving problems, communicating, connecting with people.
Those skills will always be important, no matter what the technology looks like.
That's the heart of it all.
This deep dive into AI and design has been fascinating. We've looked at the incredible potential, the challenges, and the role that human designers play in shaping this technology.
It's been great exploring all of this with you.
To everyone listening, the future of design is happening now. Engage with AI thoughtfully, challenge its limits, and use your creativity to guide it toward a world that's beautiful, equitable, and human-centered.
I love that.
This deep dive has left me feeling incredibly inspired. I hope it sparks some inspiration for you too. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep pushing those creative boundaries.